All right, here's a little explanation of the placement of the railroad spike on the banjo. So an open back banjo, it's very common to use a railroad spike from model railroad trains as a way to capo, I'm going to say, the fifth string. By fifth string, I mean this string, sometimes called the G string, sometimes called the drone string, the fifth string. And you can see on this banjo, this little teeny piece of metal here. You can see it. That's the railroad spike. So just looking at the banjo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the 7th fret, and that's the fret where you want to place it. And you can see, I hope from this picture, that it's, if this mother of pearl dot is the midway between the 6th and the 7th fret, it's slightly below that. Let me come in a little closer. It's slightly below that dot, so slightly closer to the fret, and that's useful to make sure you have a good fretting on here. So when you hook it like that, it's fretted solidly on the 7th fret, and you get the higher pitched tone with no buzzing. I'm going to unhook it. The difference 2 frets makes. You can also see by this little exercise that the tab of the spike should be to the top. So come into it like that, like that. You can also see, I hope, that it is placed directly beneath the string. So if you push the string down, you hit basically the shaft of the spike. Okay, I'm going to put a little macro lens on real quickly and try to show all this a little bit closer in. Okay. So there's a spatial orientation between the 6th and 7th, and also seeing it that it's directly below the string. Let me see here if I can get that to focus a little better. And I'm going to put the string under the spike and take it back out. That's about how tough it should be to do that. All right, I'm going to take this off. So once you have that in place, this is the capo I use. It's called a shub, S-H-U-B-B, made for banjo. So that just means if it was for guitar, this would be a little bit longer out this way. I just like this brand. They're simple, they're not expensive, they feel good mechanically, and they're effective. So if you were tuned to G, for example, open G, you would slap this thing on here, which would raise those 4 strings 1 full step or 2 half steps, and then you would come down here, place that under the spike, and then you would be playing the banjo in the key of A, which is why you do this. When you're tuned to double C, you can do the same thing, use the capo, use the spike to be in the key of D. And that pretty much covers about 95% of the keys that you need for playing mountain music or old-time music. So I hope that's helpful. If it's not, or if you need some more information, please let me know. Oh, well, let me say something mechanically about putting the spike in. It's very useful once you determine the location for the spike to use a really fine bit with a Dremel or something similar and drill a guide hole, and then just tap it in. You don't tap it all the way down to the fingerboard, because if you did, you wouldn't be able to slide the string underneath it like that. And it has to be firm enough. If the guide hole's too big, diameter of the guide hole's too big, the spike is just going to come shooting out, which is undesired. So it's helpful while you're figuring this out to maybe have a couple spikes in case you lose one. but it's pretty simple, and don't be afraid to drill holes. It's a banjo after all. All right, good luck with it.